Alright, Piss and Vinegar Day 40. Keep forgetting not to swear at the start of the videos. Anyway, Piss and Vinegar Day 40. Shoulders and biceps. Officially into my maintenance phase. Feels good, man. My brain today was working way better than usual. I was stronger today already, just from the extra 400 or 500 calories that I was consuming throughout the day. And the pump was way better because I had a bunch of carbs in my system, which was sick. So I'm gonna kind of maintain for about a month. I might gain a little bit, I don't know. Like right now I'm probably 76, 77. So over the next month I might get up to like 78, 79, and then it might be a matter of maintaining that for another month and then bulking up slowly, or I'll just kind of slow bulk. I'm just gonna go by feel, but overall I'm maintaining / bulking right now. I don't like the idea of bulking fast, especially because in this cut I didn't get that lean. Like I didn't even get visible abs, so I got like lean enough to be happy with myself, because I didn't cut this time at least to be like, oh shit, look how shredded I am. Like I cut just so that I could then bulk again. Like I don't give a fuck about the whole stupid shredded aesthetics thing. I only cut just so I could then start bulking again. So yeah, overhead press here did 60 for 11, I think, something like that. So that was a 2-3 rep increase from last time. So yeah, immediate strength increase just from today alone's increase in calories. So it'll be very curious to see what's going to happen with my strength over the next month of kind of main gaining. I could see easily a 5-10 kilo increase in my lifts, which would be excellent because I've lost a lot of strength on most of my lifts over this cutting process, between just not doing movements out of pure ego and just losing strength on movements out of pure calorie deficit and weight loss. So this will be happy days from here on out for the next 4 to 6 months over my bulk. Hopefully I can bulk that long without getting too fat. Hence why I'm going to do a slow bulk, because I am very endomorphic in nature. I have very slow metabolism. I have very shitty fat stores. So might not be able to bulk as long as the average person does. But in saying that, when I do bulk, I gain a lot of muscle pretty quick. So I think it'll be good. Now I'm on to a drop set. So I went from 60 to 40. I do a drop set. And I was taking my reps with more intensity today too. Like I could really push and get intense having these extra calories in my system. I could, sometimes on drop sets I wouldn't hit, I wouldn't go as hard, I wouldn't push as hard. I wasn't as mentally focused, but today I was pretty zoned in with my with my intensity, because my calories were there. So high intensity can be pretty difficult sometimes when you are in a calorie deficit, but when you are in a bulk, high intensity is much easier to do. I mean, training in general is easy to do in a bulk, obviously, strength-wise and everything, but yeah, when you're trying to get intense, you're trying to take sets to absolute failure, you're going to want to have some carbs in your system. And it's good if you guys train high intensity to, before you train, think about what you're going to do, envision taking everything to its absolute failure point, and that way you will hit actual failure. You will take everything with its most intensity. You will do the most amount of reps possible. Dorian Yates, the fucking god of high intensity, always envisioned the night before training what he was going to do, what he was going to wear, what was he going to eat, what was he going to train, how many reps was he going to go for. He envisioned every single little detail. Obviously, as a layman, this is not really a big deal. You don't have to be going as serious as Dorian Yates was, envisioning every single detail. But do some thinking before you train. Most people don't fucking think about a single detail of their training, and they just go through the movements. Think about what you're doing. Think about the muscles you're training. Think about the mind-muscle connection. Think. Most people don't think throughout life, let alone training. So just start thinking a bit more. So I started doing some side lateral raises, and the veins were popping. It was this is probably the most vascular I've ever seen myself. which, you know, not necessarily that vascular, but for me this is very vascular, and that's from all the carbohydrates running through my blood, all the glucose, all the salt. Had me feeling pumped up, had me looking leaner if anything, even though I've got a bunch of salt retention and stuff. The pump was really good today, which again, I don't really care too much about pumps, but it is nice getting a good pump. There is a psychological boost to it, though not much of a physiological boost to a pump other than maybe some slight psychoplasmic hypertrophy. But realistically, the pump's not really that big a deal, but it is nice to look at. So yeah, side lateral raises here. I was happy with what I was seeing in the mirror as far as feeling fuller, muscle belly's looking fuller, veins popping. Doing my standard 3 drop sets on my side laterals here. So basically what I do is I do a set to mechanical failure, then I do a rest pause, and then I do sort of some cheat reps, and then I drop, do the exact same thing again, straight set to failure, rest a slight second, do some cheat reps, and then I do it for the third one. I just kind of pump out a bunch of reps because it's quite light, but I eventually hit failure too. So yeah, three drop sets for the side laterals, really burn them out, get them as big as possible, and then I move on to a unilateral side lateral movement. It's a bit of a tongue twister saying that one. Try saying that 10 times. Doing a lot of weird faces, sticking my tongue out, grimacing, and this is because I'm able to go more intense with all these extra calories. I'm really able to push myself to the limits. So the harder you push, the crazier your faces are getting. And if you're training and you're not making crazy fucked up faces and grunting and, you know, just generally looking like you might be schizophrenic, then you're probably not training hard enough. If you're not going red, you can't see your teeth and tongue, and you're not fucking screaming when you're failing, then either you have incredible pain tolerance or you're not training hard enough. You're not going to failure. So think about that next time you're training. A lot of us don't even realize what we look like. I mean, I didn't realize how fucked up the faces I pulled were until I started recording this series. I started realizing that I was pulling some fucking wild faces. But I can imagine at one point when I was doing volume work, I wasn't pulling wild faces. So maybe train and look in the mirror and see if you are uncontrollably pulling insane faces. Now I'm doing, my 5-second up and down side lateral raises, and then I do a bunch of forced reps at the end. And my side delts are well and truly cooked at the end of this. And then I move on to my bicep variation. I accidentally clicked off my phone or turned the recording off for a second and forgot to turn it back on until after I did a certain exercise. So my decline bicep dumbbell curls are not in this video, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but I accidentally just clicked off, so my bad. Keep doing this. I need to actually get a professional camera at some point. Hopefully one day when this YouTube channel, if this YouTube channel pops off, I can get a nice camera and make better quality videos, and have them not fucking fuck up. Like yesterday I did leg day and I missed half of my leg day because my phone died whilst recording. So yeah, hopefully I can get a better phone or a better camera. I have an Android. Androids kind of have a shitty camera. You kind of need those iPhones. Or probably, Android probably has good cameras now. I have an old phone because I'm poor. Now I'm doing wall bicep curls. Again, not really an important movement for hypertrophy necessarily, although of course you will get big arms if you get strong at this, but there are better movements. I simply do this for strength. And I think today I got an extra rep, which was a long time coming, because not only has my decline, but not only has my wall curl been going down in strength, well, I definitely haven't increased any strength in the last however long during a weight cut. So it was nice today when I actually started gaining back upwards again. I think I got an extra rep or two on my previous. So this will be good. I really want to see if I can get up to a 60 kilo wall curl for 5 reps in this cut, or this bulk rather. There's a few different strength metrics I want to attain, and I want to get back to my 150 kilo box squat for 5 reps. I want to get to 50 kilo dumbbell, 45 incline dumbbell press for reps. I would like to get a deadlift of 210, 220 again. At this rate, probably not, because my back has been having issues, as you guys have seen in previous leg days. But there are a few strength standards I want to get back to in this bulk, and strength standards aren't really that big a deal to me. I think people overestimate the importance of strength standards for naturals. You know, people always say, "Oh, as a natural, if you want to be big, you have to be really strong." Well, I'm pretty weak by all measures at this point in my training, and yet I'm relatively big for a natural. I mean, I'm not exceptional by any standard, but I'm not remotely as strong as a bunch of other naturals on YouTube who aren't that much bigger than me realistically. So yeah, strength is important. If you want to be big, you got to get somewhat strong, but it's not the be all end all. Like, you don't need a 5-plate bench press to have a huge chest as a natural. And I'd argue for a lot of people that wouldn't necessarily even give it a big chest, because the bench press doesn't always give you the best chest gains. So, like, same thing goes for biceps, same thing goes for chest, back, etc. Get strong at the movements that work best for you. Right now, I couldn't give a shit about my bench press strength because it doesn't give me a big chest. But I do give a shit about my incline dumbbell strength because that gives me a big chest. Now, most people will say, oh, well, the bench press is the most bang for your buck. Well, no, not for me, it's not. So I'm going to go and get strong on movements that aren't necessarily thought of as the main strength movements, because they are better for my hypertrophy. So don't always focus on just the strength. You need to focus on the mind-muscle connection. You need to focus on getting to failure. You have to focus on all the other aspects other than just strength. At the end of the day, progressive overload is important, yes, but you don't have to progress that much to get bigger. You can get very strong very quickly and build very little muscle through neurological adaptations. So that just goes to show that a lot of times strength can just be your ability to move a movement efficiently, relative to your leverages, relative to how frequently you do it, how efficient you are at it, etc. Not necessarily going to get you that big. I talked over my experimental hammer curls. If you haven't seen my previous videos on doing these, I'm starting to do an experiment. I'll explain it next time, I suppose. And then I'm finishing off in posing. Posing felt pretty good. I felt a bit more pumped up than normal. Felt a bit more vascular than normal. So it's going to be cool to see what happens over this current bulk. Anyway, see you guys for more Piss and Vinegar tomorrow for accessory days. Peace.